What's up, guys? We have another game with the black pieces against Lornois, rated 1467. We're rated 1428 so far in the speedrun, and we see the Queen's Gambit pawn structure with c4 and d4 from our opponent. We go knight of 6 and e6. We develop our bishop, kind of like Nimzo-Indian. He's just developing his pieces. So a sensible move would be to castle for black. And now in 4 moves we're already castled. And white throws out this pin on the knight, attacks the knight. I'm going to attack his piece on my side of the board just to see if he wants to trade. He doesn't trade, he keeps the pin. That's fine. So what do we want to do? We're just going to play d5 and put a pawn in the center. Gain a little space, control central squares, get ready to finish our development. White goes e3. What does this threaten? It just opens up his bishop, continues development. No real drawback. So now it's our turn. And we do want to put our knight out, but we don't want to put it in front of our pawn. So we're going to, well, we could move it up 2. We could also just move it up 1 and put our knight here. We have options. I'm actually going to try, I'm going to start with knight here. So the reason I'm going to try this setup is so that I can move my c pawn and move my queen, which unpins my knight. You don't have to do this, it's just one way to play. So I'm going to move my c pawn. Now I'm going to move my c pawn 2 squares just to gain some more space, attack the center, and open up this diagonal for my queen, maybe to pressurize his knight. Okay, well, he castles, so his knight's not pinned anymore. If I'm gonna try to ruin his pawn structure, now would be the time. I can't move my bishop back because I blocked my own way. So now it's my move, and what should we do? I say we break open some part of the center. So let's see, how should we go about this? We could go b6 to try to develop our last piece. That makes sense. The thing is, if he moves his knight somewhere, our bishop, it's kind of trapped. So we might, let's just take the knight off the board so we don't have to worry about our bishop. He has this file, but we're going to go b6 anyway. So let's go b6. Support the center. He jumps a knight into the center. What does this threaten? It just puts some pressure on my position. Maybe threatens to play f4. Drawback. No real drawback. It's a pretty decent move. But now I'm going to finish my development with bishop to a6. It puts an extra attacker on this pawn and pressure on the bishop behind it. So white goes rook over. This just defends the bishop, but it's otherwise not such a threatening move. I think now is a good time to move my queen so I can unpin this knight. So a good square for the queen perhaps is here, maintaining contact, looking at the center. He might go back, but I can always move my queen. So he develops his queen to the side. This double hits this and also attacks my bishop. So there's that. I could just jettison it by going here. I could also take the knight first. So if I take the knight and he takes the bishop, I don't really like that. But if I take the bishop, the pawn, he gets the bishop, I get the knight, he gets the pawn. I mean, everything opens up, but I kind of have to do it because my bishop's hanging, so I don't want to waste time. We're going to have to go through a series of trades, and then the center's most likely going to explode open. And we'll just see what to do from there. Okay, so he takes with the bishop. So now if he takes this, it's covered. If he takes this, it's covered. So now I should bring my rooks into the game, maybe. Also, there's this move, which might be a good move because it comes with a tempo on this guy. There's that move and there's this move. Which one do I want to make now? Good looking forcing moves. Because rook over threatens that. This in if he puts a rook behind it. Well, maybe let's start with this one. Just so he doesn't have the option of taking, and if he can't go back without giving it up. He goes there, but he didn't ask himself what's the threat of my move. The threat is I can take this pawn with a tempo, and he had such a good position. He was playing quite well. So he moves his queen out of the attack. What does this threaten? My knight. Drawback, it takes time. So I'm simply going to retreat my knight. Well, yeah, into the center, or where else? It does give him this tempo, but I didn't want to lose the knight, so what are you gonna do? Okay, so if we go here and he tempos us, we can just go back. If we hit the queen and he moves the queen, I'm not sure what the knight's doing there, but I'm not sure what he's doing here either. It looks kind of just as dubious. I'm gonna go for this one because it comes with a tempo, which means I get the turn again. So I guess that's good enough reason for me to do it. Okay, and now I'm going to take... No, I'm not. What am I saying? My knight's hanging. I'm just gonna bring my rook like I wanted to before. Okay, and he closes down the center, but he also closes down his own pieces. So I'm not sure about that. This undefends the dark squares, so I'm going to use this opportunity. I could fully close it, but I don't know about all that. If I jump my knight in, he'll probably go here. And if I take, that's probably good for him. And if I close everything down, how good is that? I don't really need to do that. I'm gonna go for this strategy. I'm gonna put the knight here attacking the bishop. This allows him to pin me, but I'll play f6. Maybe. Okay, so he doesn't do that. He takes the pawn, which makes sense because now when I take, he's gonna have the check. So that's good for him, but I will take this. I do have a fork at the end of all of the lines, right? So that's important to know, I guess. Here, here. I could move the king or trade the queens. I could just move my king first. Get away from any weird ideas. Okay, so he gives my queen a little tempo or whatever. I'm just gonna get out of the way, but keep it, you know, watching over everything. And now my rook, I mean, this is a 3-on-1, so it's nice. He goes here. What does this threaten? My knight, so I no longer can have this fork. I'm just gonna retreat it so I don't lose it. I'm running out of time, as usual. But now he's gonna take, or we're gonna take, somebody's gonna take. Well, I'm about to win this pawn, so maybe he should take. I don't know. So he develops a rook, but now I get to take this pawn? I don't know. I mean, he gets to put a rook here, but I'm gonna take it. And now I'm up a pawn. And importantly, if everything gets traded, this 3-on-1 will be kind of hard to stop. Maybe he can win his pawn back, but he goes in here. Nothing's hanging, but he does invade, and that's annoying. I don't want him double stacking his rooks. I could throw my knight here, or I could put a rook to the d file. Which one? I'm just gonna put a rook to the d file and contest him this way. Okay, so now I have the d file. He goes here. What does this threaten? Maybe to put his pawn here. The downside is it's slow. I'm gonna infiltrate and then put my knight here. And then I guess, okay, so this threatens stuff. I'm gonna just shut that down real quick. But I need to be careful. I need to bring my king here. Mostly I'm gonna run out of time is the real problem, but oh, that's disconnected from my pawns, but he can't attack it easily. I'll attack this one. His bishop is blocked in. Let's take that one. Let's not let him invade on the d file. Let's give him this check. Okay, let's give him this check. And then this check, because he has to go back. And then maybe we have this. We do have this. And if he goes here, that's checkmate. Called that quite well. So this guy didn't use much time, but I used almost all of my time. Luckily, we pulled out the win in the last second. Just the way we like it, with a checkmate. So that was kind of nice. Now we have a game against literally our letter ally. With the white pieces, they're nearly 1500. We're finally there at these high ratings. So yeah, now we're playing a Sicilian. We bring out both of our knights. This guy's going for this pawn setup that prohibits our knight activity. That's fine. So what do we want to do? Let's just break in the center. Kind of principled, right? We have open diagonals for our bishops. We have both knights out. He has nothing but his queen out. So how bad can it be for white, right? Can't be an opening disaster. Opening success. So I just want to continue developing. I don't want to do anything crazy. However, I am going to do this, g3. It's a little weird move, but for one, it allows the bishop f4. Two, it allows my bishop here. Now, why bishop here? Because you know that he has this a6, b5 fianchetto idea. So my bishop's never doing much here. Maybe on the d3 square is nice, but let's try to fianchetto it. It seems reasonable as well. So he brings his knight out. What does this threaten? Pressurizes the pawn a little bit. I'm just going to continue developing with the fianchetto and leave this move in up my sleeve. Currently it would hang a piece. So he develops his bishop, pins the knight, which pressurizes the knight twice. Luckily this is defended by the bishop. It's kind of annoying. I wonder if we castle, takes, queen takes, bishop e3. He's up a pawn, but we're up so much development. So much development. we're gonna go for that. We're just gonna sack a pawn here and see how it turns out. It might not turn out well, but that's okay. So right now our rook is hanging. So we move our bishop. Is this a better square? Which one's the best square? Hard to say what the best square is. Do I really want to trade it? Alright, let's go here. Let's just stay solid. Initial intentions. And now, I mean, I have a lot of piece activity for that pawn. I mean, he's castled. He's not completely undeveloped, but it was just a calculated thing. It's not like I didn't see it, right? So, big difference. So how do we stay active? Try to work on our initiative. If we kick his kingside knight, and he jumps it in here and hits her bishop. The thing is, we don't have like a attack yet. How do I prepare an attack? Maybe there is no attack. The way I set up my pieces, they're kind of aiming at the queen side. That's fair. I mean, is this even a plan? I guess we kick the queen out of here and push c4 to control the d5 square more. I don't know. Let's improve our piece and let's develop. We put it on an open, semi-open file. Can't be bad. It cannot be bad. And we'll see what black does. Okay, so he develops a knight. This threatens a peace trade. Okay. I don't necessarily want to trade. Also, if I hit his queen, it does not have a lot of squares. I'm gonna throw this in. Maybe a potential rook lift later. Slightly more active, a little more susceptible, but slightly more active, so we keep it in mind. So he moves the queen here. It gives it an avenue out. It attacks this pawn, but I don't really care about my pawns, even though I probably should. I kind of want to reroute my knight here, or like just put it in a more attacking position, but I don't want to waste time doing it. So I think I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm gonna relocate my bishop. If I can take this and open up his king side, I'm not so sure that's good for him. If he doesn't want me to do that, he would have to move this knight because he can't defend it except with the queen, and that would go back, and I'm happy to see him go back. Happy to see that, because then I'll take the knight followed by e5. Otherwise, what's he going to do about the doubling of the pawns? So he goes and takes more material. This doesn't threaten anything currently. Okay, so I'm going to take the knight like I planned and open up his king side, which gives me queen g4 check, or queen g5. So I'm thinking queen g5, g4, rook h3. How do you stop mates? I'm thing is my knight's here. It's currently hit by his knight. Can't really help in the attack. And taking this doesn't actually help his bishop really. So I'm just gonna take it so that because my queen was defending it. And now I'm gonna bring my queen over to this side. I feel like the check only helps him because it helps him get his rook over faster. And also this controls this queen square, which is active for defense. And g4, rook h3. If you don't see this move g4, it's very easy to miss this move. Because normally the rook lift, you know, if the pawn's not here. And if the pawn is here, you don't normally see this. So he takes a pawn. This attacks the rook. So we don't have time for g4 in light of our rook is currently hanging. We could double. Make this rook do something. Make sure his bishop still can't develop. His rook can't go to b8. And his queen still can't really do anything. He is up 3 pawns though. He's up a full set of queenside pawns basically. So either we checkmate him or we lose the game. But these are the most fun games, where they spend 2 or 3 tempi grabbing pawns or doing something on the queen side, and you just try to assemble some type of coherent attack. So what did he just do? He went d5. See, this attacks the pawn, but his king, I feel like, is in danger, so. And he's not like he can take with the queen to defend, because it would hang. So he would have to take with the pawn, and that still cuts off his own queen, so. I'm gonna go with my g4 plan. I'm gonna try to like kick his queen first, but I don't know how this is gonna work, because one of my rooks will always hang. So he takes the pawn. So if I kick this, he's just gonna give me a check. And my stuff still hangs, there's no point to that. So maybe this, maybe this wasn't the best construction from what I wanted to do. I would love to sack the rook, but it comes with check, so that's not happening. Yeah, this just doesn't work. This just doesn't work. Okay, change of plans. G5, perpetual check. Perpetual check does not lose the game. Change of plans. So when you notice your attack doesn't work, because in reality, you're hanging rooks, you bail out, basically. That way, you keep your elo, and you save the game. So this guy doesn't take. He creates this little structure, which is kind of funny. This looks so suspicious, though. So suspicious. If I go here, What's the point of that move exactly? There is no point to that move. I have to get my queen here and my pawn to h6 to get the mate I want. And even then it doesn't work. And if I go here to like get my king out so that I can sack my rook with check, I don't have the h3 square for my rook. So, oh, what about this? Here we go. There we go. Bishop f1 stops the check without blocking the h3 square. So now I can go rook h3, sack the rook, and deliver checkmate. That's what I've been trying to figure out, is how to sack my rook without a check. I've been wanting to go h4, but that blocks the rook's vision. So bishop f1, I didn't consider that. Because in my other lines earlier, I was trying to, at the end of the line, play bishop takes e4, but that was in a different position before he was supporting it this way. So yeah, bishop back, and we got a minute, so let's see what happens. So maybe it does work in light of this guy's defense. So can he stop this? So he just pushes pawns. So now if I go here and he pushes this to cover this, I'm gonna have to deflect it somehow. Maybe I can deflect it first. What if I go here now? He doesn't have a check and he can't stay on this diagonal. Because I think otherwise he had e3 and that saves the game for him. But now this doesn't come with the check that I was worried about before. And so I think I might have, unless he sacks the queen right now to go like rook here or something, I think I have checkmate. Oh no, he has this square. How do I take that away from him? Okay, but now he has check, up, check, up. Oh, but I blocked this square for my rook. What am I doing? Check, up. Oh yeah, no way. I stopped his queen, but I can't go here. I have to go bishop g4 and clear space for my rook. And hope I don't get checkmated. Okay, so he goes here. But now oh, my queen is hanging. Can I deflect his queen? Or am I just throwing? I don't know if this works. I have 16 seconds. I can't calculate. Yeah, no, he just takes with the queen. Omega throw. Maybe I could trade all the pieces in 14 seconds. Wait, what? No, taking the rook. He's up 9 points of material, but doesn't this force a draw? Oh no, he can go back. He always has something. Yeah, he can go back. Jesus Christ. What? What? Okay, can't make that up. Up 13 points of material, a game we had no business winning. And we won. Okay, I'm kind of curious though. At like, I don't know. First of all, hold on. When we're in this position, can you sack? Castling's the best move, so you can sack. Okay, so like I thought, this is very good for me. +2. Wow. +2. Okay, so that's I evaluated that correctly. And then in this position, okay, so in this position he's up 3 pawns and it's all zeros. So the attack is only, it works, but it's only good enough for a draw. Okay. So I'm down 3 pawns and it's a draw. So that's a good thing. That means white has got a lot going on if you're down 3 pawns and you're not completely losing. Okay, so then at some point I definitely botched this. Wait, rook h3 here. Oh, I could have done it at any point because the bishop f1 idea would have blocked the check. Alright, so oops. Either way, it was a pretty good attack and it did work. If I played rook h3 at the right moment. Either way, we get the win. I love these attacking games where it's tempi for tempi and you just dare the opponent. You know, you accept the challenge, you go for mate. So I hope this video helped. Try not to get in time trouble like me. Submit your rapid games.